All right, joining us now on the hotline, of course, MMA Junkie Radio, going into the video game here, and we got our big guest, Daniel Cormier, former UFC light heavyweight champ, former UFC heavyweight champ, former Strike Force Grand Prix heavyweight champion, and he's also a two-time Olympic wrestler and six-time U.S. Open national champion. Great to have you back on the show, DC. I couldn't keep naming the things you're involved with because you're the head coach at Gilroy. You're with ESPN. It would take forever. And we got to get this interview going.
Thank you, George. I appreciate it, man. This has become quickly my favorite stop. Like I've been with you guys since day one, but the introductions have gotten longer, which means that I'm doing something right during the process. So yeah, man, I enjoy coming on MMA Junkie, and I enjoy always catching up, but I also enjoy an opportunity to shine a light on something that we feel is very positive.
Yes. So let's talk about that. What came across my board of stuff that I constantly get throughout the week is you're involved with Taki and the video platform, and you're going to be working with them to help out the wrestling community, more specifically an organization that is dear to your heart. It's called Wrestling Prep. And so what you're going to be doing with Taki, it looks like pretty interesting, man. You're going to be doing like seminars, I guess, that people sign up for, 10 per month, $100. All the proceeds go to wrestling. Who pitched this to you? Was this somebody coming to you, or did you think of it because of you being at home and obviously all the wrestling knowledge that you have, working with high school kids? You know what it's like to prepare for the next level.
Danny Rubenstein is one of my good friends, and he came across this app called Taki. Him and my friend Jamil Kelly. Jamil Kelly went with the guy that created Taki, and I had saw Cameo and some of the other of those types of deals. But when I was talking to the Taki people, it was just different. I've had offers to do the Cameo thing on multiple occasions, and I never did it. But with Taki, I believed in what they were wanting to do. Rob is a great guy, and he kind of explained it to me. And during the explanation, I said, it's something I want to be a part of. So what I do is with Taki, you can get personalized videos, right? Short 1 minute, 2 minute videos, whatever they're looking for. Whether it's a congratulations on a graduation, whether it's a get up in the morning, it's time to start your day. Whatever you want the message to be, we are willing to provide that. Not only can you get those messages from me, you can get them from musicians, different athletes, social celebrities, just a ton of different people that are willing to give you those messages. The prices vary, right? So mine is $100 per message, but I don't get the money from that. It goes to Wrestling Prep, which is an organization that not only allows people to learn wrestling. I think Carolyn Wester does a fantastic job. I believe the bigger purpose of the organization is that they help these kids with recruiting preparation. They help them with SAT prep. They help them not only in the sports atmosphere, they also help them in the classroom and in terms of planning for the future. And because of that, I wanted to bring these two organizations together, and I was able to do it. And now I think that it's starting to really take flight. And I do these 10 videos every month. I put a release saying that my videos have been renewed, and people have been burning through them, and that is great. Not only in the sense that they're willing to buy these videos in this time when everything is so up in the air, but the fact that people still want to help people, right? So by buying this video, it allows a kid an opportunity to gain knowledge from Wrestling Prep, which is phenomenal.
So that's what they meant about comprehensive college admission. So I mean, that's like the physical part, the actual preparation, because right now is an important time for these kids that are going to be going to the college in the fall, and obviously things move at a higher pace. You always got to be watching your weight, but you talked about SATs and just the mental preparation, because if you don't have the grades, you can't compete, right?
No, that's one thing that you're getting when you're part of Wrestling Prep. And honestly, some of the things that we're trying to do at Gilroy High School too now is you start to prepare these kids for the future. And it doesn't start when you're a senior about to end your senior year. It starts as a sophomore, as a freshman. You start looking to what you want to do in 3 years. You start prepping for the SATs, start prepping for the ACTs, just really starting to get yourself ready for the next level. And because of not only the donation from Taki, but also from the commitment to teaching and learning by Carolyn, these online seminars that they've been holding
Hmm.
are now starting to really explode. Last night, the seminar had 745 kids,
Oh wow.
745 kids online learning not only technical skills, but also mastering things in the classroom. I think Eric Yang right now is teaching those seminars. So it's a massive opportunity for these kids, but also it's a great uh, it's great to be a part of something positive.
And another thing I was reading about wrestling prep is it's like nonpartisan, so it doesn't
Hmm.
have any alliance
Financial
towards
gain.
a particular school or those national clubs or
Hmm.
anything like that. This works for anybody. Anybody can be a part of wrestling prep.
Anybody can be a part of wrestling prep. And it's a nonprofit, so it's all done for the right reasons. You don't find many things in this world today that are just based in everything that's supposed to be right. And I think that wrestling prep is one of those things. Um, it's based in the right thing, and I'm just really happy that I can provide some sort of assistance to kids that aren't on my team, kids that are just wrestling around the country. Uh, Try to guide them in the right direction to get ready for all that stuff that's going to come up on them really quick.
Another thing I liked about Taki was when I was reading up on it, it goes after all the different types of creators out there, the artists, the athletes, the
Mm,
YouTubers. And it's
yes,
just like, hey, look, content, come check out, business. I like the fact that they're doing stuff like fundraising, and creating
yes.
partnerships. So I think that app particularly stands out a little differently than others that are more about
Mm.
like fame or I don't know subscribers or hits or likes.
Absolutely. And I think, Rob just really had an idea what him and his partners wanted to do, and they've been committed to that. But I love doing my talkie videos. I've done videos from uh man, get up, you have to attack the day to
Right.
um DC. When I get depressed, man, I feel like I want to turn to the food. And how do you fight the urge? Um I was on my way, and some of them can be so heartfelt. I did one last week to a guy that had lost his job, and his family just wanted him to know that it's okay. It's
Mhm.
a grind. Life's a grind, and you know, if you stay the course, it can turn around. And my message to him was just stay positive, believe in yourself, and get better. I've had messages out to gyms. I've had messages out to individuals. I had messages to people in my hometown. It's just, I feel like it's just a great way for me to connect with the fans, but also try to give something to them that they can keep and cherish for a long time.
Do you see that one particular kid that reached out about the food or whatever? Who did you refer that one on to, or did you actually answer it yourself?
I did it. I actually did it. Because honestly, man, like
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a
heavyweight, light heavy.
minute. Time out. That was me busting your balls. That was just a joke. I didn't expect you
Oh,
to answer
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. No,
Come on,
no, I'm
hey
sorry,
guys,
but
I can do a joke like that, right?
you know me, man. Heavyweight, light heavyweight. There's
That's
been times
true.
where I've had to be real disciplined. Times that I haven't been able to just eat whatever I want. And I can relate to that struggle. So I thought that one was very dear to me, and I was able to speak to him and hopefully help him restart his journey.
Well, I can give you that. You definitely got down to 205, and I haven't seen 205 in about 3 decades. So maybe the joke in my face. And by the way, folks, so you can sign up for the next series because, like DC says, it's 10 per month, and these go very quickly. It's taki.apps /creator /DC _MMA. And DC, you said they scooped these up quickly, right?
Yeah, they go fast, man. I've learned, and I've seen every month. It's like day or two, and they're gone. And I know that it's hard to part with $100 right now, but know that that $100 is going to help someone. It's not lying in my pocket. I'm not getting the $100. Uh, it will go to helping a kid that's trying to further his education and also just learn. But it's just a good app. It's a good way to connect, and it's something that I will send to you and that you'll have forever. So
I'm
I
blown
think
away
it's a
by
good
it
deal.
because for some reason I thought it was going to be something along the line of, "Hey, DC, help me with the chain sequence of a single or something like that, or some sort of physical technique." But these wrestlers want to connect with you more here and here. It seems like.
It's everything. But no, like, so when they're doing at night, they do classroom sessions, right? Where they help the kids in the classroom, but they also will do technical skills. They're doing multiple things on the daily, and it's just really trying to help these kids in a time where you're just sitting on your butt evolve in the best way possible. My son is working out every day, but he has me with him. What about the kid whose dad didn't wrestle? He can go to this uh, online seminar and get the skills that he may not be getting from his coaches.
DC, if a kid wants to be famous or just thinks about getting paid, like we hear about in other sports, is wrestling even for them? Wrestling's a tough
Wrestling.
sport to compete in high school, and then you get to college,
Mhm.
it's you don't have the same type of life because you're going against killer after killer, sometimes just on your own team, just to get the place
Mhm.
to compete that weekend or whatever, and you're doing it on a certain amount of calories. And again, as you get to the levels of a Jordan Burroughs, who now gets to charge fees or whatever for stuff that he gets to
Mhm.
do post college, it's not like some of those other sports where there's a whole different other mentality and different goals.
I believe that with wrestling, you're not in it for financial gain. You wrestle to uh, uh, chase down something that's harder than most people will do in their entire lives. I mean, I don't think there's anything like wrestling. And you're not starting to wrestle to get rich, and making an Olympic team. I always, you know, think about all the people that play basketball and they're like, you all think you're going to NBA, like it's such a small fraction of percentage of people that get to the high level. Well, there's only 6 guys that make the Olympic team. I mean, 6. When I was on the Olympic team, there was only 7 guys in the entire country. Every person that wrestled, 7 people get to represent the United States. So those odds are very stacked against you in the sense of you trying to be on the Olympic team. But I'm telling you, man, it's that love of the sport, that thing that tells you to be better, to be greater than you ever could have imagined, that makes you go on a wrestling mat. And once you get bit by the bug, it's done. I just started to write. I have a lot of time, so I'm writing a a skill book for my wrestling programs, right? For all of my coaches to follow, and for us to we're building a curriculum together. And at the start of it, it says, "Hello all." This is for the parents. The parents' welcome sheet. Hello, all. I'm Daniel Cormier. Welcome to Daniel Cormier Wrestling. I'd like to tell you that taking coming in here is the hardest step, but it isn't. Everybody always said the first step is the hardest. It's not in wrestling, right? That's not the hardest part. The hardest part is not just getting in the room. The hardest part is sticking to it. The hardest part is working hard, if not harder than everybody in the room, paying attention, uh, dealing with the adversity, staying when it feels like it would be easier to quit. Those are the hardest parts. But just the very first sentences, I would love to tell you that you just did the hardest part by walking into the room, but that's not the case. And then I go on to explaining to my parents, the new parents especially, what their journey is going to look like.
Don't forget, folks, Taki.app/creator/DC_MMA. You can go in there and request one of the 10 seminars for $100 with Daniel Cormier, the former UFC light heavyweight and heavyweight champ, along with those other accolades that I threw. I even left out King of the Cage. And didn't you win something down in Australia? I think it was called
Ex
AFA.
MMA, yeah, ex MMA champ, baby, ex MMA champ, ex MMA champ.
Yeah. All right. I got to turn it over.
Every organization I've ever fought in, I've been the champion. I'm
Yeah.
lucky.
Daniel, now Come on, dude. I know you're watching it. I know you've watched it. The Last Dance. Have you seen it? ESPN?
Yeah, I did.
All
I
right.
did. I watched The Last Dance.
So here's the deal. At one point, they show Phil Jackson. He pulls it out. It says it right there. There's a script, The Last Dance. What he was interpreting that last year with that championship team, on your coffee table, there may be The Last Dance starring Daniel Cormier. And if so, what's
Mhm.
that script look like, man? Give it to us. Like, what is the perfect scenario in that script?
The perfect scenario is to, honestly, I thought UFC 226 might have been it. Becoming the heavyweight champ of the world, nothing was ever going to be better. But all I can do is hope to match that, become the champion again. I don't think it's going to exceed what I did the first time because I was holding the other belt at the time. But just to um, accomplish that again, to attain that goal of beating Miocic again and becoming the heavyweight champion of the world, I think that's what it looks like. It looks like me winning the belt, staying in the sport and working outside of mixed martial arts and just continuing to um, build my brand and my visibility not only through our sport but through things in pop culture and in other sports, ESPN and everything else.
In pro football, when a team wins the Super Bowl, sometimes a guy like a Tom Brady, a Joe Montana, we've heard, they buy presents for that offensive line, the guys that keep them
Mm-hmm.
safe. For you, when this is all said and done, I'm not trying to put you on the spot that you have to buy anything for anyone, but if there were a couple people, let's just pick 4 or 5, that just played that significant role, almost like that offensive line that helped you get up every day, protected you, keep you safe mentally, who would those gifts go to? Who are those people?
I spoke to my coaches and it would be those guys. I think Bob Cook is not only my coach but my manager. Him and I are going to be in business for the rest of my life. I never want to make a dollar without having to share it with Bob. He's been that good to me. Um, but to my guys, Rosendo Sanchez and Leandro Vera, Rudy Cruz, Javier Mendez, Chris Camacho, those are the guys that I'm going to give something. And then, honestly, the other guys, the guys that have been on this journey from day one, Sean Bunch and all the guys that are with me in this deal. I was watching a video back in 2013. I was gonna fight against somebody. I went on a media tour, and it was me and Rosendo and Sean Bunch. Sean Bunch has been there as one of my friends and weight cut helper and just kind of playing any role that he could. It was awesome. Uh, Dwayne Zinkin, my other manager, Cassandra Clark, Bob's fiance and my friend that helps me on so many levels, assistant in my life. Those people are gonna always, they're all gonna have something at the end of the rainbow. I would say my wife, but my wife gets everything she wants anyways. So there's no reason to wait until I'm done to buy her a gift. She doesn't really have to wait for anything.
One of the stars of that Last Dance, Michael Jordan. Um, if we had to pick a Michael Jordan in mixed martial arts, who would it be? And keep in mind, like, Jordan was a great player, but there were a few categories where you would say maybe he didn't have the best jump shot or something. Other guys had
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
You say overall translates to be that guy for us in mixed martial arts.
I think you just kind of get back to that GOAT conversation. And Michael Jordan has long been the undisputed greatest of all time in basketball, and I don't think we have that in mixed martial arts. But I think when you start thinking about a guy that just personified champion and a guy that just ran the table and did everything he was supposed to do the right way, and just I mean, I guess I would say, I think we forget, right, that Jordan lost in the playoffs, and he lost multiple times, right? Before the '90s, he lost in the playoffs about every year. But so it's not like he was undefeated. But if I had to pick a guy that just did everything the right way, I'd probably have to say Demetrius Johnson. Like, defended the belt all those times, always was so well prepared. His performances got better as he went on in his title reign. No hiccups, no mistakes, no nothing. and I think he's one of those guys. But I think when you start thinking about in MMA, I don't think it's just one guy. I think you got to look at people as a whole, and there's going to be about 5, 6 guys that are going to sit atop the sport for a long time, and I believe I'm one of those guys.
Last question from me. I know you as a calm, cool, collected guy. Even look at you now, you look pretty chill. But this face,
Yeah.
right? I've seen this face in the cage.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I want to know, when have you made that face outside of the cage? The kid didn't clean his room. He stepped on a Lego. Last time
I mean, I don't stepping on a Lego is probably the worst thing in the world. You stepping on a Lego with no socks on or with socks with no shoes on is the worst thing in the world. So stepping on Legos at my kid's house or if they just make a mess. I don't like just an unbelievable mess. So if they make a mess, I may give them a little bit of a scour, and that's usually enough to send them running. I don't have to really actually do anything. I can just kind of scour at them a little bit, and they usually get going. But yeah, they're that's probably the only time that I've done that.
Folks, don't forget, you can go to the Talkie app. It's talkie.app/creator/DC_MMA. Sign up for one of the 10 seminars that DC hands out every month for $100. You can actually spend some time with DC and ask him a question, something motivational, a story, quick tip, and he'll hook you up. This is the former UFC light heavyweight champ, MMA heavyweight champ is how I know him, and of course the Grand Prix Strikeforce champ, which is an amazing title, by the way. But the accolades this man has in wrestling, hard to top, that's for sure. DC, thanks for spending some time with us again today. Good stuff that you're doing there, along with Taki, benefiting wrestling prep. And look, man, you know us. We're gonna keep bugging as long as we know you're confined to that house. I know you're running out of things to do, so we're gonna come catch up with you maybe in about a week or so. We're thinking about you and your family down in Louisiana during this COVID. Every time there's an outbreak in cities, I'm thinking about people and where they're from and if their people are all right. So hopefully your people are all right down there, your family and your friends.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys. You guys have truly been two of the best and biggest gentlemen I've been a part of in this whole MMA journey. So I appreciate you guys, and always reach out. I'm always here. But my family's doing okay. Everybody's kind of just hanging in, and I hope you guys are doing the same.